Let's see if PvP can give us some action. There's a couple of assimilates coming up, gateways coming through. Probe is moving forwards, and another probe moving about as well. It gets settled down. With 2 gateways on the side of stats, Firefly a single gate. He has been one of the players really advocating for these 1 gateway based plays lately. And it looks like that'll be true in game 1 of this series at the very least. There's 1 high ground gateway and setting up from there. Typical coming up on both sides. Again, the gateways coming through. Is the second gateway now from Firefly. Interesting. Such a late second gateway. I wonder what he's seen that he's not liked to the point where he's like out of nowhere now almost. He's like, okay, second gate time, let's go. Oh, we'll get coming up. Stalker continues through. I'm gonna see our Stalker just chilling off after the probe. We're getting hunted a little bit. So we got a couple of sentries on the way through. Robo facility about to finish. Stalker coming up. That Stalker is just going to go chasing and is going to go catch a probe in the next couple of moments. As our Wolf Gate's just about halfway done, and the sentry going to be finishing. Robo facility coming up. Nexus on the way. Battery starting as well. So again, all of this underway for the moment. Stalker pylon. And Zal going to meet the pylon as well. Now that Stalker is going to take quite a few shots. This is going to go down. Actually going to be a nice fight for Stats, who wins this out quite comfortably. So gets himself a kill. It's just going to go after that Zealot now as well. So going to be able to net himself that kill as well. And for the moment protects the pylon off over to the side. Battery there, you can sit and tank the Zealot now with the sentry, so that gets cleaned up. The Stalker zones out the other Stalker. In fact, the Stalker kills the other Stalker. Firefly making mistakes as his prism comes across the map. It doesn't have anything in it right now. The devs get in, so they're going to try and find a little bit of value. So the prism does get some effect going. There's about 3 workers here, but Stats still up by 5, up on a lot of army supplies so far. And Twilight Council's coming up. Twilight Council about to finish from Stats. The Immortal about halfway done as well. We continue to produce that through. Couple pylons, couple probes all coming in. The Prism out on the bottom side. It's going to be Stats' turn to get a couple of Adepts in and try and deal some damage. It has been Stats' game so far, and these probes having to surround Adepts is going to make that no different. 4 workers go down. The Adepts are actually very healthy still, as you now have the double drop coming in on the side from Firefly. Well, it's 2 Immortals, and they might be powerful for a moment or two. They might be able to get something done. Stats will have to pull probes against it. Stalker's running out of space to run, trying to hit the Prism. We drop a force field down. Prism is going to be healthy enough to get away, so that's a good trade from Firefly. Just what he needed to bring this back a little bit. Glaives from both, by the way, as well. Glaives has been kind of taking a bigger role in the PvP metagame, where Glaives just continue. You know, Glaives is this kind of build, which usually comes in as like one big time, but we're seeing it more and more. We're now seeing Glaives against Glaives makes for a very fun situation, I imagine. And that Resonating Glaives coming up. So many gateways coming through. Immortal continues to build in as well. Two probes down, three probes down, and portals are coming back in from Firefly. That's why he's seen the most success as we drop straight through. A couple of the tanky units at least taking some shots that gives the Stalkers a chance to run. As we're going to turn back onto the Prism. Like I say, Glaive is going to be done on both sides. Prism loads up, we move out to the sides. Pylons continuing through the battery. Going in from Firefly as well as a Hallucination just shooting away. A couple Stalkers going to be there. With a few Adepts just warping in on the low ground as we do have the Glaives. Obviously allows them to be really, very good probe killers. Work counts 37 to 38. So have the Prism here from Stats as well, which is just lingering around the main base. Walls are fighting, a couple Stalkers getting pushed back. The Adept's going to move forwards as well. We are going to take out a bunch of Stalkers here. The Immortal drop has been so good. By killing every Stalker, we are free to recall home. I actually don't think Stats is going to be able to fight here. I think he needs to get the hell out of this, in fact. His Immortals, he's got, what, one more Immortal, but way less Adepts. He does get a warping of Adepts to try and help out. Micro is going to have to be on point right now as the Adepts shade through. The Immortals are firing on Adepts as the Force Fields came down to try and help. Stats is actually taking a pretty good fight because I think the Immortals of Firefly just didn't get involved in the end. Man, absolute chaos breaking out here. This looked kind of scary for Stats, but he makes the most of it, and I actually think he comes out in an okay position. My hecking goodness. Gonna see Stats now just looking to push the issue, that previous good fight. Does it give him enough to fight into a super battery? Well, he is going to start trying to. The super battery putting some work in. Additional Adepts still warping through. Just going to be seeing our army still pressing forwards. These sentries obviously don't add much right now. They're just kind of getting taken out by the Adept shots. Immortals being microed back, but Stats' Immortals are never even having to be microed. I actually think if the early game had been a little bit better from Firefly, he would be okay here because it's been pretty close. It was kind of close at moments. Obviously, Firefly had a rough early game though, so in the end, that's going to do it here. Stats takes the 1-0 lead off of Firefly. Alright, so Stats takes the 1-0 lead. Yes, I was ready to go into game number 2 here in just a few moments. Get this one started up and see what is going to be up next for us. As we get into some more games, it's going to be Ghost River. We'll continue, obviously, with the PvP. Get this started. Alright, let's hop in game and see if Firefly can bring it back. Go to Ghost River for game number 2. In the top right-hand side, already up 1 is going to be our red Protoss player, Statsu. Top left, our blue Protoss is going to be Firefly. Game number 2. As we kick this off, gate similar is all coming about. We get underway here, a couple probes on the way. That's all settled in for the moment. So on the way out, Cybercore building again. We're going to see Firefly opening one gate. Last game was really wild. No, he opened one gate and then he just added on the second gate out of kind of nowhere. And it was like, what? Where's the second gate come from? It was a little bit wild. Solid and our probes continue to move about. Nexus drops down onto the natural, so this time we're just going to go straight up one gate expansion. And we'll see what Stats has to say about that. Are we going to be aggressive into it? Or are we just going to let that happen? This is where we sit back and wait and find out, essentially. See what the next part of this is going to be. Couple sentries, couple stalkers. Continue to move about. We do have our warp gate coming up. Extra gates coming in. Go back and forth. Still going to be picking at the front here as Stats has fully committed to the proxy. As, ooh, we got one force field catch on a Stalker though. That's really nice. The other Stalker's getting caught in as well. Uh-oh. That ain't good for Stats. The Adepts are kind of nice, but, you know, to fight the sentries, and they actually do get into the main base. But losing so many Stalkers takes a lot of your power away, so that's going to be brutal. Stargate on the way. I can only imagine we want to build some Phoenix here to lift up the Immortal and to take those out, take Immortals out of the fight, and to give us a chance to fight in without having to deal with the, without having to deal with the, Immortals. Give you a chance to actually trade decently. I'll just see the couple of Adepts still moving forward. A couple of Stalkers going to fight back. Adept Stalkers gathering up once again. We do have our Nexus on the way. Oracle in production also. Lots of setting up still being done. We have our Stalkers, sentries pushing away. Adept gets chased back. We are going to see a probe taking another shot as well. I mean, at the end of the day, Stats has just not done enough with this aggression, and Firefly is looking cozy. 2 bases. Stats only just getting 2 bases, but he'll lose a gateway and a Stargate here. He built 2 Oracles in the end, which I just can't see the double Oracle doing enough to justify it. Mortals dropping in. It's going to be Firefly just looking for as much value as he can get off of these. He's going to knock one Stalker down, take a pylon with him. He really wants that pylon, huh? May as well get it. Just put stats into as rough a position as we possibly can. Hallucination coming through the prism, just going to take the Immortals into the main base. Stats. There's a lot of units here though, and it's a little bit risky from Firefly. Resonant Enclave's coming up, 5 extra gateways building, a Twilight Council going through. Our hallucinations are still popping off. Have you seen those walls? Just trying to keep on trading. The thing is, you can find so much value from these immortals as long as the prism doesn't go down. Resonant Enclaves is on the way up. Our Oracle still just trying to crusade through the base. Stats is equal on workers. He's kind of there on army supply currently, but I mean, not necessarily going to stay there. Walls firing through, Stalker Sentry at the front. Obviously, this is where Stat's going to have to find a hole. This is where Firefly's army supply has jumped right back up. He's now up to a 20 army supply lead. There you go, a couple of adepts moving forwards. You're going to see force fields dropping down. I mean, good force fields. None of the immortals from Firefly are able to fight at the moment, so if there ever was a decent start, this might have been it from Stats. Unfortunately, I feel like the super battery may not have been needed here because the mortals weren't fighting, so now the super battery is going to fade away, and honestly, Firefly just has way too much. The failed one base from Stats was enough to set this game into a result, basically. Firefly plays it out well, harasses his way into, a maintained lead, and now it's 1-1 tied up between Stats and Firefly, going all the way to a game 3. Head into that in just a couple moments. Get that set up, started off, and ready to go. So it's going to be a Golden Aura for map number 3, actually. Pretty sizable map to round out this series on. Kick off into Golden Aura then in a moment. Alright, let's get into game 3 of this PvP. Other results in the bracket, I'll do a quick refresh here just to see what else is going on. Solar beat Milky Cow, is playing against Shane. Firefly Stats, the winners of those play each other. Beyond vs Nightmare and Lancer vs Dark on the bottom side of the bracket. I like to jump down to that bottom side semi-final, depending on what is ready and when, once we finish up this series. For now, in the top left, our red Protoss player is Stats, while in the bottom right, our blue Protoss player is Firefly. Well, similar's coming up. Our gate coming down. The question, I guess, will be again: will Firefly do a 1 gate or something a little different? Probably heading down to the bottom right, just making a way across for the moment. As we do have our cyber cores coming up, pylons coming through, gates on the way, probes are building. Got ourselves settled for the moment as we have a couple probes going to nip each other by. It is second gateways on both sides, so a change from Firefly from what he was doing previously. Now going to go for that second gate and play that one out. Stalker's on the way up, and Deb's building from stats. So you have those wolf gates continuing to get set. Proby. It's going to be moving out from the main base. A couple of adepts in the warp gate still coming through. Robo facility and the Stalkers continue to produce as well. The the Stargate down right to the edge. Stats has got the Robo facility coming up, so we're gonna see Stargate versus Robo. Stargate, typically very good in this scenario because obviously it can shut down any prison player with Phoenix, even lifting up Immortals. And the Robo doesn't really give you much to kind of deal with the Stargate units, so possibilities of something happening there as you see the sentry coming about. The Stalkers will get rid of the probe. Still just have an Immortal on the way through. Warp gate finishing in a few moments. Immortal halfway done as well as our Adepts. Try to get up to this high ground. They will not be able to do too much though. Oracle comes about. Just going to be seeing that probe get taken out. 2 probes going down. 2.5 probes going down. And yeah, Stalker's just going to go chasing down Adepts. Going to get rid of 1. Looking for 2. And a Nexus drops in from stats. So Nexus drops down, obviously much later Nexus from stats. Already having an Immortal out is neat, but I kind of feel like we need to get the Prism, we need to get across and start doing something with this tech. Otherwise, the Oracles are going to absolutely find value. It would be a shame for the Robo opening not to find anything at all. Is Firefly going to follow up with a Robo of his own? It'll be kind of a wild game where we see no real Twilight upgrades for a very long time. Couple Oracles still playing the setup here. Stalkers and a sentry off over to the edge. Portal is just out in the middle of nowhere, and the Oracles are going to find it. Start zapping through. Shields will disappear, and can we save it? 2 Stalkers show up, and we'll save it, but that was already kind of bad for stats, right? I mean, a lot of health off of an Immortal is not exactly great. Well, the double Oracle and the Phoenix still moving about. Blink coming up, Twilight Council coming in. An extra star and a couple extra probes on the way as well. See that little revelation coming down. Hallucination chases outwards. Nexus, Blink, Assimilator, Pylon. But everything continues through. We do see the Phoenix gonna knock down the hallucination, so stats can't even keep track of those Oracles easily. And again, Firefly is the faster player to a 3rd base at the moment here in our quarterfinals. Game 3. When if this gets through to them semis, Stalker's there, just going to turn the Oracles and Phoenix away. Nice catch from Firefly. Feels like he's picking, making all the little pickoffs and everything right now. Kind of grab in, knocking the Observer down. Just spotting that isn't exactly, easily done. As that +1 Robe of Silly, all of that continues through as well. Well, Temple Archive is going to be finishing shortly from Firefly. Additional Gateway is still coming up as well. Little Immortals out the front, and is Firefly already just building into base number 4, so once more Firefly kind of keeping control of the pacing of this game so far. Obey, couple of gates, charge. All of that good stuff coming through from stats. He is going to get his own 4th Nexus coming down, so... Yeah. Interestingly, both went kind of opposite upgrades on the Twilight upgrade, Twilight Council initially, but because that's a fairly inactive scenario, neither player is going to really see benefits or advantages off of that. Well, actually, Firefly is going to attack right now. What do we prefer right now, having Charge or Blink? I think Blink provides you a lot more value. Charge has that kind of overwhelming potential, but I don't see stats really being overwhelmed for any serious amount of time, so I think Blink's good to play the defense with. Let's do attack. Disruptor, all coming up. The Nexus is on the way. A couple additional pylons coming about. Oracle will drop down to Revelation. Gazelles and High Templars coming through. The Blink is about to finish. We do have the Immortals gonna go pinging through this set of rocks. So rocks will take some damage. Knocking our way through this. Gazelles getting warped in. We are just gonna go knock this set of rocks down. Stalkers and Immortals still looking to potentially press forward. Couple cannons coming through. We still have a Disruptor coming up. Plus 2 attack coming in. Zealot's going to go charging around. And Phoenix coming up with a second Stargate coming about also. So we continue to bring that into play. To get some nice late game PvP. To be fair, it is Golden Ore, which naturally kind of draws you towards a later stage of the game in general. Firefly is going to start building Phoenix with 2 Stargates. I mean, basically, we're going Disruptors as stats, and then Firefly is going to build Phoenix to try and lift up those Disruptors. Now a Fleet Beacon as well, to really press towards some further air tech. Or at least have the option to go there if the game keeps developing in that way. Maybe right now you do want the Phoenix, but given time, the choice to go into carriers, etc. would not be a bad thing. couple callouts coming up. Just gonna get those popping out. Obviously, stats improving and improving his army as it stands. Coming across there. Phoenix getting a couple of lifts. Storks will blink forward, chasing the Phoenix away. Results again joined on the far right hand side. Cannon's going to be finishing as Elves charge forwards. That cannon's just going to fire up, and our Stalkers just going to get a jump on those Elves pretty easily, so that's a cleanup. We get pulled to the right side, and so we strike the left with the Phoenix, and we find a couple of probes. And we're making some use of that energy right now. You don't going to need all of it for the fight, but we'd still like to see some of it kept for the fight, obviously. Make sure we don't have no lifts for the disruptors, because then it feels like you're really missing out. Stalks come up, a Zell goes down, another Zell gets picked off. Carriers are indeed on the way from Fireflies, so taking that opportunity to move forwards. We do get rid of one Phoenix, maybe, wow, and very nearly a second, as we went for a sentry snipe with the Phoenix. Gathering up in the front of this base, additional Stalkers warping in again. Stalkers of stats coming around the right-hand side. Here we go, Mothership activates the cloak, and we are going to start kiting back with disruptor shots coming through. Kaboom! Massive hits on the Immortals. Well, it doesn't finish the Immortals off, but it puts them very low. But can we have a follow-up here for stats? He needs to be able to see those Immortals. Zealots warping on the other side and make it a surround. Stats' army's getting dismantled. The carriers are an issue because he doesn't have enough Stalkers left anymore as well. And the disruptors that landed were amazing, but he just needed some follow-ups. He needed something extra. And even then, I don't know if the Immortals really had that much of a role to play. The Zealot surround was great, and Firefly storms his way forward to win game number 3 and this quarterfinal to move into the semifinals today. Obviously, this is just too much from Firefly. Stats will not find numbers or ways to deal with this right now. That's GG's, and Firefly takes a 2-1 victory over Stats, just like that. Beautiful. All right, so Firefly stays alive and keeps on moving through. Checking the bracket to see Beyond's been in game for like 23 minutes. Dark and Lance are in game as well. Firefly will play Solar or Shin. They're in game too. Everyone's in game, guys, so we're going to take a couple moments break. I'm going to be back in just a couple and go for more SC2 action. So we're going to get that continued for you guys. We just need a couple of games to finish up so we can get into the next round of games. So we're going to get into that ASAP. Keep the action rolling for you guys. And yeah, pretty much just come back with more StarCraft. Hopefully it won't take too long for some games to finish and for our next rounds to start up, basically. So get that figured out. We can hopefully get into some more, like I say, some more games. Alright, see you guys in just a few. We will be right back. And, yeah, hopefully have some action ready very shortly. Hello guys, just waiting for some stuff to be figured out, but I think Firefly Solar are going to play. So the question is, do we want to go Firefly Solar, or do we want to try and look at maybe getting some action on the, so Dark's up 1-0 against Lancer. Let's just go Solar Firefly. I don't want to mess around and miss games. So, and end up waiting forever. Good Nightmare just played like a 25-minute game, and they just went into another one when I was stood up 4 minutes, so we'll go into Firefly Solar. Firefly is always fun to follow, to be fair, so yeah, we'll do this. Get into our first semi-final today, and then on the other side, Beyond Nightmare, Lancer Dark is all still going on, so getting that figured out. Alright guys, more action continuing as we go into Oceanborn. In the bottom right hand side, it's going to be our blue Protoss. Give it up if you're cheering on Firefly in the semi-finals today for some PvZ action for him. Takes on the red Zerg in the top left from Vitality. It's Solar. Moving through this event very quickly today so far. So far, so good. So we get up and running and get started. And obviously Solar, Firefly, some ZVP for us. So we'll come in probably as a favorite, but again, do not discount Firefly. Dude is good. Good enough to battle Solar in the BVZ. Well, Solar likes to play pretty aggressive PvZ, and if he's not being aggressive, he's typically trying to get to some kind of lurker-based composition, so the question will be, does Firefly have an answer to that combination of aggression slash... Yeah, does he have an answer to that kind of combination of aggression slash, kind of lurk attack? Solar's also very good at kind of attacking you and then getting into lurkers behind those attacks as well. Yeah, we will see. Can we get some Beyond a Dark? I really wanted to go into that bottom side of the bracket, but it's just not really lining up. Both of them are still in-game on their previous matches, so it doesn't really make too much sense. Oh, Alling's be coming up, Stargate, Adept, Warp Gate all coming through, getting this underway. Adept gonna come across the map. There's a couple of Adepts gathered together. Oracle, Warp Gate, all coming through. We get ourselves set up. Adept will start poking around, trying to see a little bit what's going on. That third hatchery already coming up as well. Link speed is about to finish on the side of Solar. And we do have our Spore Hatch, Overlord's Queens. Oh, that coming by. The Adept heads back down to the bottom right side of the map. It's going to be backing away for the moment, so falling away here. Phoenix going to go pinging on the Overlord, so Overlord's already taking some shots, and the Oracle is going to track a few Zerglings that are coming about as well, just trying to see what's going on. Well, the Twilight Council is on the way. Oracle's halfway, so we just come on building that Oracle count up. But Twilight Council going to come in to give Firefly some teching options in the near future. Give that an opportunity as our lings move about. Again, Queens, lings, drones, Evo Chamber. Everything's on the way through currently as that creep spread will continue to get pushed on forwards. So there's a lot of that Evo Chamber coming up. The extra drones coming through. A couple more Queens coming about. Queen's going to sit here, and the Oracles, the Phoenix, will get pushed over to the sides. I'm going to grab another Creep Tumor as we do have the melee upgrade still coming about. Resonating Glaives on the way. It's going to be a big switch up from Firefly then to get that Glaives going immediately. I really did not expect him to go Glaives, but well, a bit of Star Glaives in the morning. Nothing wrong with that. Again, plenty of lings coming up. Melee upgrade, Roach Roaring coming through. We have the Oracles and the Phoenix pulling back down the bottom right. Going to activate and go after a bunch of those Zerglings. Bunch of lings going down. A lot of damage being dealt. Seven more drones still coming out. Roach Roaring Hatchery. Building through. The additional extractors coming up also. A lot of this getting up and running. Things moving out. Oracles is going to be going. Adepts are making their way across. This is going to be firing. The Oracle drops a Revelation. The Overlord is going to be taking some shots. Adepts are going to come back over. And Adepts is going to be firing it up, trying to shade in toward the third base. Queens, Lings, Roaches continue to move about. We do have the Adepts still chilling just on the edges, figuring out what they want to do. I'd say that overall, though, it's been very good defensively from Solo to kind of come out against Starglaives and to be only losing a handful of drones. Typically is amazing. Look at resources lost. It's obviously better for Firefly, but 3 drones, some lings, only 1 roach. I think you're not upset about this at all as Solo. Now there's a lot of Adepts on the map, which as the game goes on are going to be less and less effective. Oracles activate, a couple drones going down. We're going to find ourselves a third. So 3 drones getting picked off. The dropper load coming through. Banelings are still coming up. Plus 2 melee and Bane speed continuing in. As our 8 lings load into the dropper load and we'll begin to move across over to the far right hand side. So across to the far right we go. Things coming over. Pylon is going to get grabbed. Roach Ravager Bane coming about. It's going to be sending up here. A couple of those Banes already rolling forwards. The Stalker setting up as well. A few of these Adepts dropping down. A few drones getting killed, but we got to hold this attack. I think it's going to be difficult. As explained, I don't think we did enough with the initial attack across the map. And these Banes are just going to crash through Stalkers. Stalkers may be fairly tanky against Banelings, but if they're getting splash damage, it's still pretty decent for the Banelings. And this is just Solar running over Firefly in this game number 1 on Oceanborn. Again, the opening of Firefly just did not do enough, and Solo wastes 0 time in following up with a attack that basically punishes him. We said at the start, Solo will be aggressive, and in this case, Solo just had to be defensive first and then get aggressive. As we have Solo coming about, and it is going to be him taking the 1-0 lead in this best of 3. So Solar takes the 1-0 advantage here as we continue to move through this ESL Open Cup career. On the bottom side, looks as though Björn, Firefly, Dark, etc. are all still in game, so that series, those series are still ongoing. If Solar doesn't waste time here, we might actually catch the bottom side semi-final as well. So, not that I want Firefly to get demolished in a game 2, but seeing both semis is always good, I guess. So, we win-win either way. Either we get a good match, or we get to catch the bottom side of the bracket. Countdown's already underway in the lobby chat and now in the lobby itself. Let's go, go, go. As we have got in the top left corner of the map, the red Zerg player. This, up 1-0, Solar. Taking on our blue Protoss in the bottom right corner of the map, Firefly. Game number 2. Gets set up into rolling. Seeing what Solar will do. But I guess more kind of curious, does Firefly kind of play as aggressively again? Because this was not really good enough last time. Guess we will find out. Hatch, gas pool, drones all coming through. The Nexus coming about from Firefly as well. Got the Cybernex core placed down. Happy birthday, Ali. Thanks, Lily. Ali's had a great morning. We got Ellie a ball pit for her birthday. She was, well, having a great time playing it. So she's, living her best life, what can I say? Proby's mining away, link speed coming up, not too much going on just yet as we settle ourselves on down. Waiting to get further on into this all. Probes running about, Stargate coming up, Gateway still coming through for the moment. Gonna be seeing ourselves again, link speed coming about, the hatchery coming up for the moment, so still just getting a lot of that on the go. That's going to shade up into the high ground here. A couple lings are going to come running in. Going to go for the wraparound on those adepts and all going to be able to play the hunt them down game. Adept coming about. Warp gate still setting up. Gonna be having our Oracle and Nexus, etc. continue to come on through. Continue to get set here as we just have the extra lings, the couple of queens on the way up. That Nexus on the third base already establishing as well. Drones coming about, the Spore Crawler coming in, the Evolution Chamber coming through as well. And just getting a little bit of everything on the way up as our couple of queens. Now drones keep on it going. Just coming across towards the natural. Queens will be there. Push those oracles away. Evo Chamber about to finish. Again, a couple of drones. Plenty of lings all coming about. A couple more overlords coming in. The queen and the melee upgrade coming about also. Shade across the map. These adepts trying to take position and see what they can do. Queen's firing it up, and again a couple of adepts just taking some shots and being forced away. Plenty more drones coming up. The melee upgrade building. Blink and +1 both coming through from Firefly as well. It's just getting that all set. 4 more gates from Firefly again, +1 a blink on the way. The probes are producing. And Roach Roaring still building. Melee upgrade on the way out. That lag gonna be here in just a few moments. As our Depths is gonna come through, picking off the Creep Teamer. I think we'll get through the battery and a couple of adepts there to push the lings away as well. It's just getting a decent job of that one. Turn that down for the moment. Firefly will send some of his depths up that left-hand side. With Blink and +1 soon to finish, we'll obviously start seeing this turn into that Blink sort of style game. Roach is on the way up. Melee upgrades finishing shortly. The Adepts will move over from the Lings. Looking for a wrap there, but the Adepts are going to just cancel their shade, and that will be that for the moment. Templar Archives finishing soon as the Adepts get tucked into a corner. And just shade out of there. The Lings do have to back off of them. The Overlord just going down. Still got 11 Roaches being brought into play. With the Dropper Lord 2, Solar is ready to send. Well, there's going to be Blink defensively this time from Firefly. That will help a lot more than the Glaives did in the last game. However, he's on his way to Storm, and I don't think that Storm has a chance of finishing. Things and Ravages coming up. Roach Speed is going to finish soon, +2 attack, Storm Charge. Like I say, if any of those upgrades were here, that would be amazing, but we've got Lings already approaching the front, and we have the Zerg army here with the Queens dropping down. The Stormers will be warping in. Blink is a major part of this defense coming up. More than likely that Zealot does not get the gap in the wall filled, so that Zealot will go down. Lings are into the main. Chaos will ensue as the Oracles will chase the Lings down. You're going to see the Roach Ravager still collecting here. Storm is moments away, so we will have some help. The Lings in the main not going to do too much, but we are killing probes on the natural. That's where the probe kill count is coming from, as Stalkers keep on getting hunted down. Cannon in trouble, Battery in trouble as well. Stalkers trying to blink backwards. The Ravagers just going to keep the pressure going here already. The supply looking horrendous for Firefly, army-wise and worker-wise. As we said, Solar will bring the aggression, or likely will try to bring the aggression. That's exactly what has happened. And Firefly has not been able to make it work himself here at all. GG's. Firefly is going to take the game number 2. Solar is going to take the game number 2 off of Firefly. As I'm going to hop out and see if we can jump into the other semi-final, if it started or not. 2 minutes ago. Well, actually, is that Beyond Dark, or is that just another game of Beyond Nightmare? Let me try and figure out. That might be another game of, I think Dark is still in game, actually. Let me go hunting through the streams. Yeah, Dark is in a a long game versus Lancer still, so that's still ongoing. And yeah, Beyond a Nightmare 1-1, so we actually are going to catch the other semi-final. So we're going to get that other semi on the way, guys. I guess we'll BRB and take a couple minutes because we've got to wait for games to finish before we can resume. Is Dark looking good in that other game against Lancer? Is like looking to be a... It's late game. Hard to say. Alright, so lots of action happening, loads going on. We'll be back with more SC2 in just a few, guys, as we get into the other semi-final. Then the grand finals will be Solar versus Beyond/Nightmare/Dark/Lancer. In fact, Dark has just confirmed a 2-0 Lancer, so it's Dark/Beyond or Nightmare, and the winner of that playing Solar. So we'll be right back. Hello, guys. Just waiting for Beyond and Nightmare to finish. I think they just finished. Try to find out if it's ZVP or ZVT in this second semi-final. It's going to be ZVP as Nightmare 2-1 over Beyond. We have got ourselves a matchup. All right. Nightmare versus Dark coming in. And continuing to have good runs. So some more ZVP for us. Not ready to go. Kick off into some more action. Thank you for joining us. As our first videos begin to come forwards. Get this set up and ready to play. Just getting everyone in here. Again, Nightmare vs. Dark starting very shortly. You guys some sleepy puppy vibes. While we wait for this match to begin. Man, Ellie carries this stream so hard. Just lies there. I just point the camera at it and I just wait for the games to start. It's so good. Top tier performance. Alright guys, just getting videos done. We'll have a map pick in a moment, then we'll have a game hosted, so shouldn't take us too long. We should be into this very shortly, in fact. Outside, going to be our opening map, so we've had that part decided. Just waiting for the game to get hosted. Amphitheater map 2, side Delta map 3. We are going to be set to go. Get this started up. Lots of people joining our party, and lobby guys just taking a moment, but it looks as though we're going to be ready to go in a second. Kicking off into Alcyone. Like I say, semi-finals. Solo waits in the finals. Come on, Nightmare. Save us from a ZVZ final. I haven't cast any ZVZ today, to be fair. And that would be 3 ZVPs in a row, so maybe ZVZ wouldn't even be so bad this time around. As we build into, like I say, Alcyone kicking this off, getting this started. Getting this ready to roll. In the bottom left, we're going to have ourselves the blue Protoss player. This is Nightmare. Taking on the red Zerg. In the top right corner of the map, we have Dark. So, game 1 of the best 3. We'll get this underway. And let's see what's gonna go down. Dark in the top right, Nightmare in the bottom left. Probe just gonna move over. Overlord continues to come through. Hatchcast and Pool coming in. Man, Dark could absolutely play some long games. Interesting to see how this is going to go as we get settled. Let's see, probe nibbling at the back, a couple drones coming through. And we're seeing our drone's gonna be coming across. Probe comes over, passes by the watchtower. Again, link speed coming up, couple drones on the way. Stargate will finish very shortly. And that is Nightmare's setup, looking very normal to begin with. Nothing too crazy about that one. A couple of lings nibbling at some rocks. Link speed still coming about. A few more drones coming in. Queen Overlord coming about as well. Hatchery coming on through. Additional queens and drones still coming about as our Void Ray comes in. Probes are coming up. Another gateway will just drop into place. Void Ray is still in production, so Nightmare is going to open with that and put that in to kind of get across the map and try and deal some damage early on. Round of additional drones coming through. Again, lings, queens all building up here. Getting ourselves settled in as our game gets underway. Okay, we're about to finish. Void Ray comes through, snagging an Overlord. Nice pick off there. Drop a Spore Crawler into the natural. Likely see something on the third base as well. Just prepping for this Stargate play. Obviously making sure the Spore's ready. The Void itself may not be threatening, but the potential follow-up of an Oracle would be, as that's a pretty fast Twilight, though. One Void, one Oracle into the Twilight Forge. Not a lot of Stargate commitment, only 2 units. Especially after the Void Ray, sometimes you see Void Ray 2 Oracles. Void tries to find something, but gets pushed back. Let's see now. Stalk actually gonna get the Overlord as well, which has been there picking up information. +1 and Blink both starting off. Again, +1, Blink, both coming through. The extra gateways coming around here. Probes, battery, continuing up as well. Queen's going to drop some injects down. Extractor's going to set up. 4th base coming through. Those extractors coming about. Queens get over here. Oracle gets hit a little. Now I'm going to put a 5th hatchery into place. +1, Blink, all coming through. Voider will activate on the top side hatchery at the moment as well. Nexus for a 4th base. Nightmare just getting straight there. You can absolutely see this becoming a long game, actually, the way these guys like to play. Single Link is going to be nibbling at the Nexus for a couple moments. Again, that Baneling Nest coming up, the hatch coming through, 11 more roaches on the way, Robo Bay and Robo Facility building up on the side of Nightmare. Bringing that through as well. A lot of Lings on the way with that melee upgrade as well. Bane Speed also being brought into action. So this one's actually going to catch some of the Lings and Roaches, which is exactly what they made it do. Catch some of that Ling Roach, and then it gives the Stalkers a bit more freedom, kind of pushing around very safely. It's kind of interesting though, with only 1 Oracle, you're going to be limited on how many Stasis Wards you can build, so those are kind of already the Stasis Wards used. There's not really going to be another anytime soon. So that's a little bit, you know, leaves you humming and hawing. The Ling Roach army going to come through and chase down these Stalkers. You're not going to get rid of a bunch of them. +2 attack, extend thermal lance, all of this coming about here. Still got Ling Bane, Bane Speed coming up as well. Well, Dark's already attacking, so he's just going to come straight through. Ling Roach on this 4th base. He's got a few units coming in from the top side as well. It's a group of Lings. I don't think they want to fight though, as Nightmare was already struggling to get enough of his army across. Some Bane's trying to roll up to the high ground mineral line, but I think Dark should just settle for this 4th base. That alone is a pretty great pickoff. It's going to slow his opponent down a lot right from the very get-go. Probes going down as the Lings do finally find a good moment to come back in. And extended thermal lance, +2 attack coming up. Charge is about halfway done. Five is building up again. A bit more Ling Bane coming about. Our +2 melee upgrade starting as well. Let's knock some rocks down. Bane, Ravager, Roach. Continuing across. Storm's halfway done. It's going to be seeing our +3 attack upgrade coming through. +2 melee coming about as well. We continue to bring this all into place. Couple extra Bane's going to get morphing down on the bottom, and Ravager Force just ready to keep on sending it. As Hive kicks in from Dark as well, he will have more options than ever before. And as the 4th base attempt of Nightmare is going to get jumped on immediately, Dark is going to get straight to this. Now GSL Champ is looking for a kill, and he is going to find the 4th. Storms are pretty good. He lost 14 probes during this as well. The Banes in that 3rd must have found something. It looks as though they did connect. Even the Colossus there. I thought the Colossus would have cleaned most of that up, but Dark's doing such a great job of threatening one place and just forcing the splits of Nightmare to just not be good enough. Extra Banes morphing up, extra Lings coming through. You do have the Ultralisk Cavern finishing shortly. Adrenal Glands, +3 melee and +1 Carapace all coming up as well. And Bane's still setting out. Adrenal Glands, Burrow, everything else coming through right now. Immortals out from Nightmare. Dark did slow this down a little bit.